If you feel like you already know what to do in order to lose weight, but for some reason you just can't stick to it, then this video here is for you. And before you assume that you're lazy or you're broken or you're just disciplined enough, I want to explain what's actually going on here. Because the reality here is that you've tried before. You've tracked calories, you've tried to follow the perfect diet, you've watched the videos on YouTube or TikTok or Instagram, and you've even saved them for later. And then something slips and you lose consistency. And this keeps happening. This keeps happening for you. And every restart is now feeling heavier than the last one. This sense of shame and guilt continues to be built up so high that you think that you are the problem. And it becomes incredibly shameful because all you can think about is that others are able to do it. They're able to stick to the exact same diet and protocol that you are, but you can't, and you continue questioning why. And the problem is that you're following a system that requires perfection. And that's because you, my friend, are a perfectionist. You are following a system that you created when you had incredibly high motivation, when nothing was going wrong, when everything was perfect. And so you created the perfect plan, or you're following the perfect plan. But here's the reality. Life is not perfect. Real life includes stressful moments, like an argument with a partner or your friend. Real life can elicit tiredness, like a bad night's sleep, for example. There's going to be imperfect days in real life. There's going to be social events, which requires you to not be perfect when it comes to your tracking and your counting. And that means that the system you're following is the problem, not you yourself, because it's no longer a system if it's only able to work when life is perfect. It's simply a test of how perfect your life is. So look, let's break down the real reasons as to why you struggle to stick to your perfect plan. And let's break it down into 3 segments. Number 1 is your plan requires willpower. And willpower is a finite resource. It's like fossil fuels. We have to dig it out of ourselves and summon it up. And it's not something that we intrinsically run on. And that means that when real life happens, a stressful event, a lack of sleep, a social event that puts you off your perfect day and your perfect program, your willpower is sent into overdrive until you have no more of it. And at which point you crack and this whole system falls. And that means that you've built something that is, yes, successful in the short term, but has no long-term stand. The second reason as to why you struggle to stick to your perfect plan is because there is no margin for error. It is too perfect. You give yourself no wiggle room. You have to hit a certain metric. You have to do things so perfectly so that the point at which you don't quite hit that, it's all a failure and you give up entirely. One missed workout means the whole week is ruined. One time of going just slightly over your calories means the whole night is ruined. And this not only impacts you and your body and your mental health, but it impacts everyone around you. It impacts how you show up when it comes to other people. And the third problem is that because you have set out with this perfect plan and failed this perfect plan so many times over and over again, you don't trust yourself anymore. Every continued attempt at trying to lose weight feels more risky and more clueless than the previous one. And you're slowly just building this armory of information that you yourself are the problem. And you're the one who can't do this when others can. And you're the one that's to blame because others can do it. So why can't you? So what actually needs to change? What actually works instead? So you essentially need to look at this perfect plan as something that is imperfect, that has balance and that has flexibility built in it from day one. And you need to rigorously ask yourself whether my perfect plan is too perfect. And 9 times out of 10, it is going to be too intense. You need to ask yourself, hey, is this going to be something I can do on a low energy day, a low sleep day, a high stress day? Because in reality, it's going to fail when those days happen. And those days are going to happen. Now, I love using the principle of 80-20, and that guides myself in all areas of life, specifically when it comes to nutrition and when I used to have a really poor relationship with food. I would be so perfect all the time with food that one little bad food, one tiny bit of flexibility, one ice cream would send me into override. And what really changed things was implementing imperfection and balance and seeing every day as imperfect and trying to have these little treats consistently over the week. And that normalized it. That normalized that my perfect plan was only perfect if it was imperfect. And that meant that 80% of the time, yes, I was eating clean, whole, nutrient-dense meals, but 20% of the time I was enjoying food. I was enjoying processed foods. I was enjoying sweets. I was enjoying coffees that actually had milk in them. I was enjoying cakes and ice cream. And what that did was it caused me to have a structure and a program and a plan that was perfect because it was imperfect, because it was balanced. And what that meant is that after 10 years of trying to be perfect and continuously losing faith in myself, after trying and trying and trying again and completely failing over and over again, so that I was actually able to maintain progress. I was able to maintain results long term. It's why I have looked the same in my body for the last 2 years in comparison to the prior 10, where I would look skinny and then incredibly overweight within a matter of weeks. And look, I've spoken a lot about food in this particular video, and food is the next layer that builds onto this existing problem of why you can't stick to your perfect plan. Because food is delivering you stress, it is mental noise that consumes your brain so much that it feels like it's a part-time job in itself. So in the next video, and I'm probably gonna put it somewhere around here, I'm gonna break down exactly why food is so loud and so noisy, and how you can start to make it calmer again. So go have a look at that if that's something of interest to you. But if you did enjoy this video and you took some value out of it, stick around, because this is exactly what this channel is about. It's about rebuilding trust in yourself, realizing that the structure and the system you're following is to blame, not you. So with that said, I'll see you in the next one.